Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Ask Amy. I forced myself to come down here to my kitchen because this is the last Monday when my kids are in school. So starting next week, you'll see me in my office a lot more. I'm kind of banished to the office while everyone's running around here crazy. But anyway, I'm glad it's almost summer break. Happy for them. So today I have a question from Linda. I'm going to read it on my computer here. Sorry if it looks weird as I'm reading her question, but I'm reading it from my email. So Linda says, when I'm in a relationship, I'm exceptionally anxious and constantly fearing that my partner will leave me or stop loving me. When I do have a breakup, I'm inconsolable, totally devastated. I keep on replaying conversations in my head. Memories that once were happy are now a source of torture. Even if relatively settled before going to bed, I awaken with physical aching, yearning that remain for the rest of the night. When I'm not in a relationship, I'm seriously yearning for love and feeling so alone. It seems that I can't win. Everything about love just feels so painful to me. I do have childhood abuse and abandonment issues, but I didn't think I'd still feel like this decades later when I'm in my 60s. The constant needing to be loved and needing attention to feel secure is awful. It's truly debilitating and having a detrimental effect on my health and happiness. So Linda, I'm so sorry that you're going through that. We can feel it. We can feel it in your question, and we can feel it because we've felt that at some point, maybe not exactly like you feel it, and I'm not saying that we've all been through what you've been through or what you're going through, but on the other hand, like all humans have in their own way, I don't think there's any feeling or emotion or experience that we haven't all felt in some way or another. So that's why we can read something like your question, that may not be at all where we are or what we're going through, and still really connect to that and know what you mean and feel for you and kind of feel how this is in a sense. And so in that way, you aren't totally alone in what you're going through at all. A few things come to mind as I read your question. Given that you have this childhood of abuse and abandonment and all of that, and I'm sure this is not news to you, but I really want you to kind of look in the direction of, oh, this is what my brain thinks I need. Now, it's not what you need. Your security has nothing to do with a relationship, like nothing at all. Zero, zilch, not even a little bit. Your worth has zero, zilch, not even a little bit to do with your romantic relationship status. Your potential for peace of mind and having a nice life and, just relaxing into life and all of that good stuff, happiness, contentment, have nothing to do with your relationship status, not even a teeny tiny bit. But your brain doesn't know that. See, your brain knows, ooh, danger, was abandoned, was abused, was neglected, whatever, at a very early age. Your brain remembers that. And your brain is awesome, but it's not all that wise. Like, it's just a really good machine, as brains are, right? So it's a great machine. It remembers things. It finds matches, and it applies what it remembered from way back when to what looks to be a match now. So family member, parent kind of seemed like was necessary for survival as a child, and was in many ways as a child, right? That we get attached, that goes away, that's threatened. All of a sudden your brain says, whoa, this is really bad. Need more of this, need more of this. And it kind of just remembers that. And yes, it's been 50 plus years since that happened, but your brain's really smart in that way. It's a really, really good machine, and it loves you a lot, and it's doing the best it can to take care of you, but this is not a way that you need to be taken care of. So I just want you to kind of feel into that. Now, that's not it's not going to make you feel any different necessarily. It's not going to make your reactions any different. But it absolutely starts to give us this space and this insight around what's happening, because I think so often what I hear from people that keeps us feeling stuck in stuff is not that we have these reactions or responses or thoughts. And I mean that in all of life for any person, in your case around relationships, not that you get really afraid or really needy or really needing, or, really obsessive about it. It's not any of that so much. It's the fact that we think that means something important. Like we wake up in the middle of the night thinking about the person, or we feel really insecure and like we're going to die without them, and we get really caught up in that feeling. And in some way our mind is just telling us, because that's what it's designed to do, it's telling us, yes, you need this, your survival is at risk, you are no good without this, you will never be happy again. It's telling us those stories. And the more we can see, oh, that's what a brain does. A brain thinks it's helping us based on some time in the past, based on a kernel of truth. It thinks it's helping us. It replays it for 50 plus years, like yours has, applies it to all sorts of situations where it doesn't really fit. It's not even part of your life today. And then convinces you by how extreme your feelings are, and by all the thoughts that come up when you're having those feelings. Your mind says, see, you did need this, you did need him, you can't be alone, you can't, it just says all that stuff. And because we all are kind of, in some, I shouldn't say all, but for the most part, kind of hooked into this conversation our mind is having with itself, basically, all about us and what we need and how we're doing. And it's just a mind talking to itself, narrating life, telling us how things are going. We think that's us. It's not us. It's not you. Not really any truth in that. It seems logical. It seems like a logical story, and it explains why you feel the way you feel and all that stuff. So we get very caught up in it. But man, if you could just see, it's not you, and it's not true. It's just a conditioned, habitual mind, just blah, 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 blah. Same stuff for 50 plus years. And that's the thing, right? It's like, we'll say, well, I've been feeling this forever, and I have these childhood issues, and so clearly that caused this, and clearly since I've been feeling this for all these years, there's something to it. And you're not saying this, Linda, I'm just telling you what I hear other people say every single day. So we reason, we kind of come up with this big thing about it. Well, it came from here, and then it got worse, and it's still here. So clearly, and we just have that innocently wrong. We just do. It's not that way at all. Really isn't. It's like I said, like something happens, your brain gets scared, it comes up with a plan to try to save you, right? When you don't really even need saving, but it comes up with this big protective plan, which is very nice of it. And then it carries that plan through time, and you're fine now. And you're fine always, but we don't always know that. But beneath your brain, see, here's the really funny part. We talk about this in the school all the time. Our mind creates problems so that it can solve them. Now, it's not doing that just to chase its own tail or just to mess with you or anything like that, but it's like your mind, your brain said, this is a problem, can't be alone, it means this, it means that. It just gets so deep into all of these stories, and then it's looking for a way to think its way out of all that pain and suffering. But what you want to see is there's no relationship that's ever going to help you feel secure. Impossible, Linda. It's not even possible. I promise you. You can have the best relationship in the world. It will not give you a feeling of security, because a relationship can't do that. It doesn't work that way. You can have the worst relationship in the world, and it can't give you a feeling of insecurity. It can't make you feel bad. It's trying to squeeze orange juice out of an apple. It just doesn't, it's not where that comes from. So you're okay, always have been, didn't always think it, join the club, right? But you always have been deep down beyond all this thinking. And your mind is just out there constantly telling you, you're not okay. You're not okay. You need this and you need that and him, and this has to go that way. And it's constantly telling you that. Meanwhile, you're fine. You really are. Beyond all that thinking, you are okay. And I could say that all day, every day. It's what I say all day, every day to everyone. But you need to feel for that yourself. If any part of that resonates with you, run with it. But just humor me for right now. Like, you're okay. Your mind's telling you you're not and laying out all these conditions of what has to happen in your relationships in order to be okay. And that's the only thing going on, is that we're believing all that. That's it. We're so identified with this constant narrative that's telling us what's wrong that we aren't seeing what's right, what's always been right, that, what's right this second, what we can feel and experience right this second beneath all of that thinking. That's all. We're just looking. It's like we have these two things and we're just staring over here and totally ignoring what's on this side. So look toward, and this is so hard and so vague, I get it, but look toward what's there beyond all that habitual, conditioned, boring, old thinking. And it's hard because when we look beyond that, we don't see anything because there's nothing of form there, but you'll feel it. You'll get a feel for it. Beyond this talking voice that's constantly in your head telling you what's wrong, everything is totally fine, and it always has been. We're just so busy staring here. That's it. And this is no different for you, Linda. It really isn't. It's like, and I get it. Again, we can all, our hearts go out to you just in hearing your question, because we get on our own way what that's like. The drama and the ups and downs and the yearning and the needing. And it's not a fun experience, but it's a psychological experience. It is created by your brain, and it has nothing to do with you, Linda, and it has nothing to do with the people you're with, the relationships you're in or aren't in, and nothing that you're looking for is going to come from getting that relationship right. And I hope that helps, because it takes a lot off the relationship. Like, be in a relationship or don't, who cares? Maybe it's fun in life, and it has its perks and it has its minuses, I'm sure, but that's not where anything you're looking for is going to come from. You have it already. You just want to see that this is the one feeding you all these I need and can't have and have to have, and all of the story, the whole thing about security and being okay and all of that is a mind-created psychological experience, and you are not your mind and you are not your psychology. And it's really brought to life in a big way. When we're staring like this at our minds and our psychology, it's all we see. And what I'm telling you right now, like, you'll want to slap me, and I understand that, because it's like, well, you're kidding me. It's like right here. It's like my whole everything is this experience. The highs and the lows and the needing and the wanting and all of that stuff you described. But just see if you can let that be there, like a movie that's playing on TV, and know that there's something behind it. And what's behind it is everything you're looking for. So thank you so much, Linda, for sending this excellent question. I hope something in here lands and helps you in some way. Please let us know. And I hope it's helpful to everyone else listening. And I'll see you guys here from my office next Monday. Have a great week.